Hi. Hi, Adhikansh. Hi. So, do you have a question? Hi, Dhananjay. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's really sweet of you guys. Can you guys hear me? Are you able to hear me? Okay, awesome. So, great. So, tell me what exactly you guys want to know. Adhikansh, can you hear me? Okay, so what exactly do you want to know from the hashtag AMA series? So that's really sweet of you, Dhananjay, to ask this question. I am an undergrad student. I'm in my final year. I have been with the community for a very long time now. Mostly, I would say 3 years probably. So okay, so I'll just address Dhananjay's question and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I started working with a lot of communities and I realized that a lot of people face the same problem of not having the right resources. And I thought, why not I provide a platform where everybody would be there and we can have a one-on-one session so that people can address those challenges before getting into that field. Like with the previous two sessions, like we saw how we can become a GDE or how we could actually apply directly as a PhD scholar. So these are the questions that generally people have, but they don't know how to start their journey and how to find the right resources about it. So that's how I sort of thought that I should join, and I thought that maybe YouTube could be a medium where I can bring all the people together. So this is what the motivation was, and yeah, that's it. I hope I live up to all your expectations. And for Adhikansh has asked which one is better, Flutter or React Native. So Adhikansh, I would like to know something about yourself. You've been an Android developer, or you've just been into a web developer? Could you describe yourself about anything about yourself so that I can give you a better answer, because it depends on exactly what you work. Flutter Flutter, okay, there's so Raja has also joined us. Hi everybody. So generally Flutter we use to have a very correlated structural platform where we can have multiple domains. Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, so with Flutter, as we know that iOS apps and Android apps both can be sort of fulfilled. So it depends exactly on what you want to work. I would not say something is bad or something is good. It actually depends on your work. Exactly. So for mobile application, I would suggest. Oh, great! You've been doing Node.js for backend. That's really nice that you've been doing something. That's great. So I would suggest, if it depends on what you want to work on. Every language has an intention behind. So for Flutter, the main purpose is you can qualify for both the apps, the iOS and the Android, as we know. So it depends on your work. What exactly do you want to aim to get is basically the idea of of choosing either of the language. I hope your question is solved. Okay, I think Raja had a doubt with the direct PhD thing. He even commented previously on my video. So I'll just address it here only. That generally direct PhD is done because we tend to have a strong bachelor's research profile, and we can get intake as a PhD. So when somebody, anytime Andikesh, anytime, thank you so much for joining. So anytime, okay, there's one more question. Let me just quickly address Raja's question first. So generally, what happens when we join for a direct PhD? It's very difficult after your bachelor's, but it is still manageable. So what happens if you apply for your masters? It's not always the case that in your masters you would be eligible to apply for a direct PhD, apply for a PhD post graduation. So what happens? Generally, somebody who wants to work as a PhD scholar prefers working on a direct PhD because they have a safe cutoff from from the situation where if they do their master course, whether they would be eligible enough to apply for a direct PhD, for a PhD or not. So it sorts of save a seat, a spot for you in the whole admission process. And obviously you have to do your masters. It's basically like how in the previous video it was mentioned that there has to be some sort of intake for masters also. You need to have the master degree anyway. But the main idea here is that you can do your masters while doing your PhD. The course becomes an integrated course. Generally, master takes up like around 2 years, and 2 years or maybe 1.5 years if you are a really good candidate and you're a good student and you're able to finish your credits on a faster note. But generally, it is somewhat like this. So it becomes an integrated thing. Okay, I think your question is addressed. If there's something else that you want to ask, you can write it down. Okay, I think Dhananjay has asked me. Can you please tell us a bit about when we should use hybrid or PWA or native? Oh, I think somebody is answering that. Okay, so Dhananjay is asking about when we should use PWA. For those of you who do not know what PWA is, it's basically a web app, progressive web applications. It's basically the full form. And he's asking which one is better, native or PWA. So, okay, generally, basically, whenever you have anything to do with hybrid, it's based on the environment. That's very obvious. You need to make sure that your environment is sort of compatible to the use case that you're using it for. So that is one thing. PWAs are now becoming far more like it's there in the high and the buzzwords, as we can say. PWAs are now being used more because generally initially we used to have, I won't say not responsive, but not as responsive as websites or web applications that we have now. The reason being, obviously, because now everything is now so many new domains are emerging, new packages or new libraries are emerging. So now generally people are switching to web apps. I would anytime prefer a web app than a normal website, but it depends. You cannot have a web app for any website. Like suppose there's a website of an e-commerce company, so obviously they would have multiple features. They would have a page for product description or the products that are available. Maybe it's like, suppose, let's say Amazon is there, so they'll be listing that we provide plasticated stuff, we provide furniture, we provide fabric, clothes, etc., etc. So these are the things where there are multiple pages linked to it, and there's a whole chain of actions that you can actually go through. Then web app is preferred. Whereas in a normal website, let's say it's about a company's website where all the details are there, and let's say there's some company, some IT company, so you can just basically have a basic website that would do your work. And for hybrid, if there's like any specific, maybe if you need something like, I need to think of an example. Yeah, so it's basically the basically related to environment. So if I can put it like, it would be like, maybe have specific websites for specific countries. Like maybe India has some, let's say you have something for Aadhaar, so that would be based on few documents, on few data set, on few security system, how your bank is linked, everything. All this is somewhat related to this hybrid domain. In a very brief example, I'm trying to explain, but I hope you get the idea. Okay, so if you guys want to know something more, you can ask questions. I'll just so anytime, Dhanija. Thank you so much for thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Hi Sumnath. Hi everybody. Sumnath, if you have a question, you can ask, please. Thank you so much, Dhanija, for joining. Thank you. I hope you learned something. Thank you. Please keep watching my channel, and please subscribe to my channel. Read to Reap, like it, share it to all your friends. Thank you. Thank you. So Adhikansh is asking my technical field. So I'm working in machine learning. I am working in NLP specifically, and I've been interning at IIT Delhi, and I'm an undergrad student. I'm leading two communities, one women in machine learning and data science, and the other one is Google Cloud Developer Community, New Delhi. So that's a very brief intro about myself. And I've been working in machine learning for the past 3 years now, maybe 2.5, 3 years now. And yeah, that's it. This is all about myself. So, Adhikansh, are you working somewhere or are you a student? Oh, you're a student. Great. Which college? Wow, second year of BTech. That's really nice that you are actually stepping into this technical field so early. Generally, second year people are not very active, but it's really good if you show that kind of interest, and it'll really fetch you really good companies if you're aiming companies, or really good universities abroad if you're aiming for masters. So it's really nice. And I think you are interested in mobile application. Let me just go for once more. Let me just see. So you're trying to work on. Okay, so Somnath has asked me this question why I started this channel. Well, there's no specific reason as such. It just happened over time. And exactly why I started, why I felt there's a need to start a channel like this was that I've been involved in various technical communities across Delhi, and I've been very active for the past 2 to 3 years. And I thought, that I used to meet people, and I understood that not everybody has the capacity of surfing on internet and finding the appropriate resources. At times when we do not have the appropriate awareness and resources, we feel like maybe this is not meant for us, and we somewhere lack the communication with the right person, since our circle, our network is pretty restricted to our domain, and we don't have a very exclusive environment even in colleges, or at maybe at offices it's better. But I think generally what it's there with the college people. So I thought that there's so many domains, there's so many recognitionable factors, and there's so many labels that one can have, but it's just that people don't know about it. And since I have been very active, I know most of it. I thought, why not I should create a channel where I can have people on board and talk about something which would actually help the other person watching this video. Not only because obviously it's on YouTube, so the accessibility range is worldwide, but also because I generally feel that Indians have the talent to show. And I'm not being biased to my country, I'm being like very practical here. Generally we have a lot of knowledge, and we are good coders, and we can actually work very well, but the only thing is that we don't know how our work should be worldwide recognizable, or how one should actually find that this person has done something and this person is good. Because generally if you apply to such really dream companies, your resumes are shortlisted based on your colleges, CGPA, all of this. So it's very difficult for one to actually stand a position. And when you have the talent, when you have the capacity, you have the credibility, all you need to know is there are some ventures which can give you those tags which are recognized by these amazing companies, by these amazing universities, which would help you build your resume, and it would really help you gain the attraction from these companies and these universities. So this was the idea, that since I know people, it's better to make people know more people, and then everybody knows everyone. That was the idea, and I'm so happy that all of you guys have been so supportive. I know my video editing is not that great. I'm being very honest. I'm still learning. It's just my second video that I've done. Still learning. I'm trying to be a pro at it, but I know it'll take some time. But all of you, all those overwhelming comments that it's a really good initiative. Everybody is so supportive. Such great comments that I receive, that it's really overwhelming and heartfelt. So thank you everyone for all that support. And I just got a new message from Adhikansh that I hate academics, but love to get knowledge, and you are one of the source. Thanks. Okay, yeah, I understand. Generally, people have this thing of not being very good with academia and not really going through their books and studying. I can understand that because I was very much like this. But I used to make sure that I get good marks, I get a decent percentage. If not, at least I'm crossing that good percentage wala criteria if I'm not topping. So that has been the idea always. But I feel that if you actually not go with the curriculum which is there in college, what you can do is you can find good courses also, which I would be mentioning in the upcoming videos. I would be taking again hashtag AMA series, where the different courses which are available to improvise your foundations would be there, and how to improvise your foundations, that would be added to it. So keep following my channel. Please subscribe to Reap to Reap. Like this, like it, share it to all your friends, and I hope all of you benefit a lot. So, okay, Somnath just asked this question. I just got to see his question. He's asked, okay, I will address that. Is there anything else Okay, Abhi Sahu has joined. Hi, Abhi. And any advice for second year CSE student? I mean, I mean to ask what I should learn. Okay, so Abhi, that's a very general question. I would suggest, I'll be very honest. Generally, people don't find the right domain where their interest lies. So for me, like I was very much into machine learning, but I was not very much into development, and I'm still like that. I prefer machine learning any day over software development. But I think it depends on how you want to take things forward. There are people who want to be a multitasker and all rounder, and they are good with doing so many languages, frameworks, domains, fields, everything, and they do it amazingly. So it's hats off to them. But I would suggest that you're in second year. My basic advice to you is start with one topic, what you think you can go through. I would suggest work on data structures first. That's very important. There are various courses available, which I would be, again, like I said, I will be mentioning that in my upcoming #AMA series. Please watch that video. That would be really beneficial for you all. Okay, I'll just address Adhikansh comment, but let me just get back to you first. So I would suggest that you please do data structures very nicely. There are books available, there are courses available, which I'll be mentioning. Please do watch that video. And after that, I mean, there are courses available online also. If you really need to start from now, you can watch the Audacity course, lecture course, which is available. You can try there's a book which is called Cracking with Code or Code with Cracking. Let me just confirm 1 second. I'll just 1 second. Yeah, so the book is Cracking the Coding Interview. It's a really good book. It's one of the best books, I guess. And there's Foreman for yeah, it's not interview, it's not basically interview based. It has a lot of data structure questions in it. So if you do those questions, those are the questions that are asked in your interview also. But if you have a very strong data structure foundation, then it will be very easy. Then then if you've done that, once you're strong with your data structures, pick one language. Don't try to do Miko Java bhi karni hai, I want to do C++ also, I want to do C also. I mean, C++ are pretty much similar, but I want to do Python also, I want to do this also. Pick one language, do everything very nicely. If you're done with one language, it will be very easy for you to jump to other languages, because the core knowledge in your head would be crystal clear. So jumping onto different languages won't be a problem. बस क्या करना है, syntax ही तो समझना है. That is still manageable. But if you know the basics of a language, then it's very easy to switch over languages. So I would suggest, please make sure you do your data structures well. Also, there are few resources. Let me just give me a second. I'll see books which